The sanctuary amber glows with the residue of a day spent in devotion, where the scent of beeswax mingles with the damp coats of those who gather in the 7 o'clock gloaming. We are the Sunday night remnant, the tired lungs and the earnest hearts, standing on the precipice of the great coming, while the city hums its indifferent anthem beyond these stone walls. Here, the score rests on music, stands like white birds awaiting flight, carrying the weight of Michael's melody and the ancient dust of the Judean wild. It is a summons that begins in the diaphragm and ends in the stars, a visceral vibration of comfort whispered first by the wind through the cedar branches, and now amplified by the collective breath of a choir that knows the exhaustion of the world. We lean into the cadence, our voices weaving a tapestry of longing that stretches back to the Babylonian exile and forward to the morning star that has not yet risen above the horizon of our waiting. Beneath the vaulted ceiling, the command resonates to make straight a highway in the arid wastes of our own indifference, to saw down the peaks of pride and lift the sunken trenches of our despair. We sing of topography turned holy, of tectonic shifts in the spirit, where the rugged terrain of a broken life is plain smooth by a grace we cannot manufacture. The flute traces a line like a swallow over a dry creek bed, and we follow its ascent, mindful that our flesh is but grass, and our constancy like the wildflowers of the meadow that succumb to the first sharp frost. Yet as the ink on the page catches the dimming light, we affirm that the word of our God is the only architecture that it does not crumble, the only foundation that remains. When the echoes of our Sunday evening service have dissolved into the quiet of the coming week, we are the heralds of a wilderness that is not a place of desolation, but a laboratory of the soul, where the silence is finally loud enough to hear the approaching footsteps of the one who comes to govern with a strong arm and a shepherd's heart. How tenderly the melody cradles the promise of the lambs gathered into a divine embrace, held close to the chest of the infinite, where the shivering stops and the journey finds its rest. Our harmonies are the bandages we wrap around each other's wounds, a polyphonic balm that declares the warfare is ended and the iniquity is pardoned by a double measure of mercy. In the 7 p.m. stillness, we are no longer just accountants, teachers, or laborers, but conduits of an ancient prophecy that demands a highway be carved through the stone of our stubbornness. We feel the pull of the rhythm, the gentle but insistent thrumming that mimics the heartbeat of an expectant mother, the rhythmic labor of a world groaning for its deliverance. Each note is a stone laid in the path, each rest a moment of breathless anticipation, as we prepare the way for the glory that shall be revealed to all flesh together. A vision so blindingly beautiful, it requires the dimness of this late hour to be even partially understood. The shadows grow long in the nave, stretching out like the vast plains of the Arava, and we lift our eyes to the heights of Zion, where the messenger stands with a voice that must not falter. We bid our fear depart into the darkness of the vestibule. For the Lord God comes with power, not to crush but to nourish, leading the nursing ewes with the patience that outlasts our shortest days and longest nights. Our choir is a small flame in the Advent frost, a flickering testimony that the desert will bloom and the parched land will bubble with springs of living water. As the final chords hang in the air, vibrating against the stained glass and the wooden pews, we carry the desert within us, but a desert that has heard the news of its own transformation. We walk out into the Sunday night, the melody's still humming in our marrow, certain that the voice which cried out in the wilderness is now the voice that guides us home through the cold, toward the warmth of a stable that will soon contain the fullness of the Word made flesh. The mountains may smoke and the hills may depart, but the resonance of this evening stays rooted in the furrowed ground of our communal song. We have seen the glory in the ink and heard the herald in the alto sigh. And though the grass withers under the weight of the coming winter, the song we practiced at 7 p.m. is an evergreen vine climbing toward the light. We are the voice in the desert, not because we are loud, but because we are hollowed out, to let the Spirit blow through us like a flute of bone, calling the scattered people to a feast that has been prepared since the foundation of the world. In the silence of the walk to the parking lot, the Isaiah 40 promise lingers like a fragrance, a reminder that every valley of our week is already being filled by the God who measures the heavens with a span and carries the broken in his bosom. The dust of these 40 suns is not merely earth, but the residue of every mask I have worn until this hollow noon. It settles in the creases of a brow marked by the charred remains of a palm that once waved in a triumph. I did not understand, a gray sigil of the transient. Now the wind is a scouring brush, a rough-hewn abrasive, meant to strip the gilding from the leaden heart until the core is exposed, shivering and raw in the wilderness of the self. We do not walk into this silence to find ourselves, but to lose the phantoms that have claimed our names in the clamorous marketplaces of vanity. The horizon is a jagged line of slate and copper, a furnace where the dross of enough is burned away by the relentless and holy. More of the Spirit. To believe is not a soft gesture of the mind. It is the sound of bone knitting back together after a long and jagged fracture. It is the weight of a mountain resting upon the fragility of a mustard seed, a paradoxical gravity that pulls us upward, even as we kneel in the silt of our own undoing. When the mirage of the oasis whispers of easy water, and the stones suggest they might become bread to sate a shallow hunger, we learn the liturgy of the refusal. To resist is to become a fortress of flint, sparked only by the friction of divine grace against the cold iron of our resolve. The serpent offers the kingdom of the visible, the immediate, the tangible pulse of power that rots in the hand. But we are seeking the kingdom that arrives like a deep breath in the quiet of a surrendered will. There is a fire that does not consume the bush but consumes the lie. A heat that demands the sacrifice of our most cherished illusions. Lent is the kiln of this turning year, a season where the wax of our comfort melts to reveal the unburned wick of our original longing. Each candle flickering in the drafty nave of the soul is a small defiance against the gravity of our own failures. A golden needle stitching the dark fabric of the night back to the dawn. We are being grafted into a vine that bleeds wine and offers thorns as a crown of jewels. The growth is subterranean and agonizingly slow, an expansion of roots through the parched and packed soil of the heart, seeking the hidden springs that the surface world has long since forgotten. Repentance is the turning of the ship in the middle of a gale, a violent and necessary correction of the soul's compass toward a star we cannot see, but feel in the marrow. It is the shedding of the winter skin, the scales falling from the eyes until the light of the coming. Resurrection is no longer a blinding glare, but a welcoming home. We walk not toward a destination of cold stone, but toward a person of living fire. The temptation is always to stay in the shallow waters where the footing is sure and the risks are measured in pennies. But the faith we crave is found only where the bottom drops away, and the vastness of God becomes our only buoyancy. Forgive the hands that clutched at shadows, for they now reach for the hem of a garment made of light. Let the hunger of these days be a hollow space where the word may finally echo without the interference of our own noise. We are the clay being turned on the wheel of the fast, thinned and shaped by the pressure of a thumb that knows exactly where we are prone to crack. In the breaking is the healing, in the starving is the feast. We watch the wick shorten and the flame grow tall, for the faith that survives the desert is the only faith that can endure the sun. Turn the key in the rusted lock of the ego, let the gates of the heart swing wide to the King who comes not with an army, but with a cross. The ashes on our skin are but the soil from which the lilies of April shall inevitably break their green and silver silence. The air within the vaulted nave is thick with the scent of ancient beeswax and the collective sigh of 1,000 intentions. Yet it is not the incense that defines the boundary of our belonging. We are a mosaic of fractured vessels held together by a light that refuses to dim, a geometry of mercy, where every line converges upon the wounded heart of the Nazarene. We do not walk as specters in a lonely gallery, but as a phalanx of brothers and sisters whose rhythm is dictated by the pulse of the Eucharist, moving in a slow and sacred synchronization toward the dawn. It is a terrifying transparency, this mandate to be known, not by the silk of our vestments or the weight of our silver, but by the manner in which we carry the burden of the stranger. To love as we are commanded is to bleed into the garden of the world, to offer the cooling water of our own sacrifice to the parched throat of the forgotten, until the very dust of our transition hands it glows with the friction of charity. We move as one spirit through the narrow gates of the city, our feet treading a path worn smooth by the persistence of the saints. There is a singular resonance in the way our voices interlace, a polyphony of the redeemed that rises above the clamor of the marketplace. We are the architects of a kingdom that is built not of stone and mortar, but of the interlocking of palms and the steady gaze of compassion. In the marketplace of indifference, our unity is a scandal and a sanctuary. We walk side by side, not because our paths are easy, but because our destination is shared, anchored in the belief that no soul is an island and no grief is solitary. The world watches from the shadows of its own isolation, looking for a sign, searching for a mark that distinguishes the children of the promise from the children of the age. And they find it not in our proclamations, but in the calloused hands that lift the fallen, and the quiet persistence of our communal prayer. To work side by side is to weave a tapestry where the thread of one's labor is indistinguishable from the thread of another's. We guard each human dignity as if it were a sacred flame flickering in a gale. For we recognize in the face of the broken the reflection of the Creator's own countenance. There is no hierarchy in the crucible of service. The prince and the pauper are bound by the same towel and the same basin. We strive to heal the ruptures of the earth, to mend the tattered edges of justice with the needle of grace. It is a labor of endurance, a long obedience in the same direction, fueled by the knowledge that every act of kindness is a stone laid in the foundation of the eternal city. When we toil, we do not toil for the vanity of monuments, but for the restoration of the divine image in the eyes of the despairing. The choir swells now, a tidal wave of sound. It shakes the rafters and settles in the marrow of the bone. It is the sound of a people who have found their center, a resonance that transcends the limits of language and the boundaries of time. We sing of the Father, the architect of the stars, from whom all love cascades like a waterfall into the valley of human experience. We sing of the Son, the Word made flesh, who taught us that the greatest power is found in the ultimate surrender. We sing of the Holy Spirit, the breath that animates our clay and binds our disparate hearts into a single thrumming organism of faith. This doxology is the seal upon our mission, the final breath of a hymn that never truly ends. For its echoes are carried out into the streets, into the hospitals, into the prisons, and into the quiet rooms of the dying. They will know us by the way we linger when others flee. They will know us by the way we speak the truth, with a tongue seasoned by gentleness. They will know us by the stubbornness of our hope and the prodigality of our forgiveness. Our love is not a sentiment, but a substance, a visible reality that alters the chemistry of the room. It is the mark of the Christian, the indelible character of a soul that has been submerged in the waters of the Lamb As we depart the sanctuary, we carry the choir within us, the melody of unity serving as a compass in the wilderness. We are the living lyrics of a hymn composed by God, a testament written in the ink of our daily devotion, declaring to a weary world that love is the only force capable of turning the tide of history. All praise to the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, in whose triune embrace we find the pattern of our own communion forever and ever, until the dawn of the final day, when love is all in all.
The amber light retreats through the high arched windows of the nave, surrendering its heat to the cooling stone of the sanctuary. As the clock strikes the 7th hour of this fading Sunday, we stand in the transept, 4 distinct threads of breath drawn from the same well of silence, while the piano awakens with a sequence of falling fifths that mimic the descent of the sun below the horizon. The wood of the pews hums with a century of whispered petitions, and now our voices, the high clarion of the first sopranos and the resonant velvet of the second altos, begin to layer the ancient Latin like a shroud of silk over the day's unrest. Grant us peace, we sing, but the words are not a command. They are a suspension, a circular motion of sound that refuses to find a resolution until every shadow has been named and welcome. Dona nobis pacem, the first voice rises alone, a solitary bird crossing a darkening sky, thin and silvered by the moonlight that hasn't yet arrived. Then the second voice catches the tail of the phrase, a fraction of a heartbeat behind, creating a friction of light where the melody overlaps with itself in a celestial architecture of longing. The piano provides the landscape, a steady ripple of arpeggios. It suggests the flow of a river toward an unseen ocean, holding the SSI voices in a cradle of ivory and felt. We are the Sunday evening choir, the keepers of the threshold between the sanctity of the Sabbath and the mechanical grind of the coming morning. And our harmony is the only wall we can build against the intrusion of the world's clamor. The canon thickens now, a dense forest of vowels, where the O of Dona becomes a hollow vessel for our collective exhaustion, and the A of Pacem stretches into a horizon of hope. The second sopranos find the middle ground, D of resonance that connects the crystalline heights to the grounded depths of the altos, who sing with the earth in their throats, a heavy and holy vibration that anchors the polyphony to the floorboards. There is no lead here, only a following. We are echoes of echoes, a recursive loop of mercy that spirals upward toward the vaulted ceiling. The piano's left hand begins to toll like a distant bell, slow and inevitable, while the right hand flickers voice in the high registers a spray of sparks against the velvet dark of the chancel. We sing for the city outside these walls, for the cars rushing toward Monday, for the flickering neon of the streetlights and the cold concrete of the avenues. Our breath is a singular organ of air, divided into 4 streams of intent, chasing one another through the bars of the score, until the distinction between give and peace dissolves into a singular, vibrating state of being. The 7 p.m. air is thick with the scent of extinguished candles and old hymnals, a fragrance of history that lends weight to our modern tongues. As the canon reaches its zenith, the voices intertwine in a dissonant suspension, a moment of exquisite tension, where the heart holds its beat before resolving into a pure, unadorned unison that rings through the empty pews like a strike of lightning softened by rain. As the final repetition begins to fade, the voices drop away one by one, retracing the path of the sun's departure. The first sopranos vanish into the rafters, leaving the second sopranos to carry the torch for a few more measures, until they too yield to the altos. Finally, a single voice remains, a low and steady pulse of pacing that seems to come from the stones themselves, supported by a final sustaining chord on the piano that refuses to let go. The pedal stays depressed, allowing the harmonics to bleed into the silence of the church, a shimmering ghost of sound that lingers long after our mouths have closed. In the 7 p.m. stillness, the prayer is no longer a song, but a physical presence, the resting place for the weary, a circular grace that knows no beginning and fears no end. The Sunday light is gone, but the peace remains, held in the resonance of the wood, the strings, and the fourfold breath of our unified spirit. Within the amber glow of the sanctuary's waning candle, there resides a silence so profound, it becomes a melody, a resonant frequency of the soul that mirrors the stretching of hours into an eternity of devotion. The air itself is thick with the scent of chrism and the ancient dust of cathedrals, where the stone remembers the vibration of 1,000 years of Kyrie and the soft, sibilant breath of the faithful. Here, time does not flee. It pools like water in a marble font, cool and undisturbed, inviting the weary to submerge their grievances in the rhythmic tide of the Salve Regina. The bells have long since ceased their iron clamor, leaving only the silver resonance of the heart's internal chime, a persistent pulse that beats in time with the mysteries of the rose. 2 hours of breath, 2 hours of the spirit's slow exhalation, weaving a tapestry of sound that transcends the mere physics of the ear. It is a pilgrimage of the inner ear, tracing the delicate architecture of a Gregorian line that rises like incense